All right, today we're diving deep into a mineral that is so essential. I mean, it's involved in hundreds of functions in your body, yet most of us, and I mean most of us, are walking around deficient in it. It's often called the forgotten mineral. And in this explainer, we're going to uncover exactly why it might be the hidden key to unlocking way better energy, deeper sleep, and just overall vibrant health.
So let me just ask you, does any of this sound a little too familiar? That feeling of being tired all the time, a mind that just races and won't quiet down? Maybe those annoying muscle cramps that wake you up at night, or just tossing and turning, unable to get good sleep? These are incredibly common problems, and we tend to blame stress or our busy lives. But what if the real root cause is a simple deficiency in one single incredibly powerful mineral?
So here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll talk about what magnesium actually is and why it's so incredibly vital. Then, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of why so many of us aren't getting nearly enough. After that, we'll get super practical with a guide to choosing the right supplement for you. We'll look at the amazing health transformations you can expect, and then we'll wrap it all up with a simple action plan you can literally start today.
Okay, let's start at square one. What exactly is this mineral, and why is it so fundamental to our biology? Well, think of magnesium as the master mineral, kind of like the spark plug for hundreds and hundreds of critical processes happening inside your body every single second of every day.
And when I say hundreds, I'm not exaggerating. Just look at this number. Magnesium is a required helper molecule, or what scientists call a cofactor, in over 300 different enzymatic reactions. I mean, think about that. This means it's involved in basically everything, from making proteins and repairing your DNA to regulating your blood pressure and nerve function. To put it simply, no other mineral even comes close to having such a wide-reaching impact.
Now this brings us to maybe the most crucial point of all, energy. Every single cell in your body runs on a fuel called ATP. But here's the secret, the part nobody talks about. ATP by itself is biologically useless. It's inert. Magnesium has to bind to it to create the active form, MgATP. That's the only way your cells can actually use that energy. So without enough magnesium, you're essentially running on a low battery, no matter what else you do. And get this, magnesium is also a critical team player. It doesn't work alone. For instance, you could be taking a ton of vitamin D, but if you're low on magnesium, your body can't even convert it into its active form. It also works to regulate calcium, making sure it goes to your bones instead of your arteries. And it's absolutely essential for producing glutathione, which is your body's master antioxidant.
So, if this mineral is so important, why are something like 50 to 80% of us just not getting enough? Well, the problem isn't just about making poor food choices, it's systemic. Our modern world has, in so many ways, literally engineered magnesium right out of our lives. It all starts with our food supply. Because of modern farming practices, our soil is seriously depleted, which means our food has way less magnesium than it did just a few decades ago. Then, food processing strips out even more. Did you know that refining wheat into flour removes up to 82% of its magnesium? Add to that softened water, common medications that deplete it, and the chronic stress that just burns through our magnesium stores. Well, you've got a perfect storm for deficiency.
And this brings us right back to those symptoms we talked about at the beginning. Muscle cramps, especially at night. That's a classic sign. But so are things like constant fatigue, anxiety, difficulty sleeping, high blood pressure, constipation, and even migraines. These aren't just random issues. They are all potential signals from your body screaming that it's missing this critical mineral. Now, you might be thinking, okay, I'll just get a blood test. But you've got to be careful here. A standard serum blood test is actually pretty misleading because 99% of your body's magnesium is inside your cells and bones, not floating around in your blood. So your serum level can look perfectly normal while your cells are literally starving. For a much, much more accurate picture, you need to ask for a red blood cell or RBC magnesium test. Okay, so we totally get the problem now. Let's switch gears and get to the solution. I know, navigating the world of magnesium supplements can feel really confusing, but it doesn't have to be. It's really all about matching the right form to your specific health goals. Think of this chart as your personal cheat sheet. For general relaxation, better sleep, and really high absorption without any stomach issues, magnesium glycinate is fantastic. If you're focused on brain health like memory, focus, or mood, L-Threonate is totally unique because it's the one that can cross the blood-brain barrier. Citrate is a great all-arounder, and it's especially good if you deal with constipation. Malate is what I call the energy form, often used for fatigue, and taurate is the hero for your heart, great for supporting healthy blood pressure. And here is a huge pro tip for you when you're reading labels.
Try to avoid magnesium oxide. It is the cheapest and most common form you'll find on the shelf, but its absorption rate is just dismal, only about 4%. And this is so important to understand because a lot of the older, inconclusive studies on magnesium, they use this exact form, which totally skewed the results. For real benefits, you need a form your body can actually use.
All right, let's talk about the payoff. When you finally correct a deficiency and get your magnesium levels optimized, the changes can be absolutely profound. We're not just talking about avoiding symptoms here, we're talking about upgrading your entire operating system.
First up, sleep. I mean, who doesn't want better sleep? Magnesium is deeply involved in regulating neurotransmitters that help you relax and sleep, like GABA, and also the sleep hormone melatonin. This means less time tossing and turning and a lot more time in that deep, restorative sleep that helps your body truly repair and recharge.
Now for your mind, magnesium basically acts like a gatekeeper. It literally sits in a special receptor in your brain cells called the NMDA receptor, acting like a plug. This prevents that receptor from getting overstimulated by stress hormones, which is what helps reduce feelings of anxiety and keeps your brain from feeling constantly wired and tired.
And for your heart, magnesium is a powerhouse. It actually functions as a natural calcium channel blocker, which helps your blood vessels relax. And when your blood vessels are relaxed, your heart doesn't have to pump so hard, which can lead to healthier blood pressure levels. It's that simple.
And finally, it all comes back to energy. By making sure your cells can produce and use that ATP fuel effectively, optimal magnesium levels can lift that heavy feeling of chronic fatigue and give you the sustained, stable energy you need to crush your day.
Feeling motivated? Awesome. Let's make this super simple and totally actionable. Here's your step-by-step plan to get your magnesium levels right where they need to be.
First, let's just establish a baseline. The official RDA is about 400 to 420 milligrams for men and 310 to 320 for women. Now remember, this is the minimum to prevent an obvious deficiency, not necessarily what's optimal for you. And that number includes everything from food and supplements combined.
Okay, here's the 4-step plan. It's super easy. 1. Start with food first. Pack your diet with magnesium-rich foods like spinach, almonds, pumpkin seeds, and yes, even high-quality dark chocolate. 2. Choose a quality supplement, like glycinate for sleep or L-Threonate for your brain. 3. Start low and go slow. Begin with a modest dose, maybe 200 to 400 milligrams, and take it in the evening to really leverage its relaxing effects. And 4. Consider splitting that dose throughout the day to maximize absorption and be really gentle on your gut. And hey, don't just take my word for it. As the respected cardiologist Dr. Stephen Sinatra once said, magnesium is an unsung hero. It is the best nutraceutical that supports blood pressure. That just highlights how incredibly critical this mineral is, especially for our cardiovascular health.
So, I guess the only question left is, with all this potential for better sleep, a calmer mind, a stronger heart, and way more energy, are you ready to stop overlooking this mineral and finally give your body what it needs to truly thrive? The power to transform your health might just be in this one simple step. Hey, if you learned something new about this powerhouse mineral today, please do me a favor and give this explainer a like, subscribe for more health deep dives just like this one, and share it with anyone in your life you think could benefit from better energy and better sleep. Thanks so much for watching.